Hello and welcome to the holiday Thanksgiving random shit random guy. As always, I'm your host Phil, and as you can tell, we have not been podcasting for the last couple weeks. I have been battling with my computer, so hopefully this works for you guys. If not, I don't know, man. Well, hopefully we can get. I got to get a new computer. I mean that's no ifs, ands, buts about that. Since we've last podcasted, you guys may have been, if you've been following the channel, you know I've been posting a ton of shorts from Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. I went to that at the first of the month. That was really cool. But there's been so much going on since then. But today's Thanksgiving, so I thought, hey, I usually on Thursday nights. Maybe some people's calming down, drinking a little beer, relaxing after watching football all day, and some AEW, which is on right now, which, I mean, I don't really think there's that many people watching that, so that's why I decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and go live. I watched like the first hour of the show and turned it off because I knew all the results because it was pre-taped. But yeah, so I thought I'd go live, chat with you guys a little bit. Excuse me. If you guys want to hop in the chat, say hello, make sure you do that. As you know, when you join the chat, I throw it on to the comments on the screen and we talk about it. So get that out there if you want to join the fun. This week, we are going to kind of break down last weekend's pay-per-view, which was AEW Full Gear, and we're going to talk about the Continental Classic, which kicked off last night and continued through tonight's show. And then we are also going to preview this weekend's War Games. Wrestling and Thanksgiving have been 1-1 since the early days of, Jim Crockett Promotions. It's been Survivor Series weekend is always Thanksgiving weekend. It's really cool that WrestleCade in Winston-Salem has kind of taken up the everybody but WWE location, so everybody goes to WrestleCade. AEW was really smart to not run against them this weekend. That's why Collision was on tonight. And let's face it, Collision's not doing very well. I don't know how it does on HBO Max, but it does not do well live on they're on TNT. Yeah, on TNT. So they really need to move that off Saturday nights, but I don't know that running on Thanksgiving was much better. But like I said, I enjoyed watching the first hour. I watched it up until FTR come out, and then I kind of got ready for the show. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like, FTR come on, that's all I wanted to see. I did watch the opening matches. I love FTR, so I wanted to see their segment. It was cool seeing the Ricochet segment and then them attack. They come out and attacked. Who the fuck was it? I think they attacked Dalton Castle and I was going to say the boys, but that's no more. It's Dalton Castle and the Outrunners. So, but that's enough riffing. Let's kind of get into the notes. Like I said, you guys, anybody who joins, I will throw the chat up there. We'll talk about whatever the fuck you guys want to talk about. But until then, I'm going to start off with some of the highlights of AEW Full Gear. AEW Full Gear was on Saturday, and going into that show, honestly, I wasn't super excited about it. I'm not going to lie. It seemed like so many rematches that it wasn't going to matter. But boy, did it matter, and it set up AEW's future for the next couple months. I mean, they definitely set themselves up through Revolution. I know they've got pay-per-views before then, but they had 3 title changes and added a new title. Now, don't get me started about adding a new title. I think the national title that Ricochet won in the Casino Gauntlet match is absolutely beautiful. It looks like the old NWA Georgia Championship Wrestling National Championship, which would ultimately become the WWE United States Championship. But it was not needed. AEW has, I want to say, 6 individual championship belts now. They've got the AEW World Championship belt, the National Championship belt. They've brought back the International Championship belt, the Continental belt's back, the TNT belt's back, the tag titles. They've got the trios. That's 7. That's not counting the Ring of Honor Pure, Ring of Honor Television, Ring of Honor Tag, Ring of Honor Trios. That's 12 belts between AEW and Ring of Honor. That's about 7 belts too many. Like, I understand you need your tag titles. You don't need the trios titles. Realistically, you need if I was in charge and I had the pencil, AEW would have because we did away with the unified title this week. We'll talk about that when I get into the Continental Classic. Actually, I'm not going to start with Continental Classic. We'll get into that after we talk Full Gear. But the Continental Classic, the Continental belt, not needed. The International belt has some lineage. I would keep that one, but I would keep the tag titles. I would keep the AEW World Championship. I would keep the TNT Championship. And if I had to have a 4th belt, I would keep the International Championship. Everything else can go. We don't need trios titles. There's a reason trios titles they're just not that important. They've never been that important. I think the last time that trios titles were important was like NWA Crockett days when like 3 members of the Horsemen had it, and then, Flair had the big gold. Trios titles suck. The matches are fun, sure, because they're chaos. They're train wrecks. They're not good matches, but I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority, but yeah. So if you're a fan of trios wrestling, cool. But I'm just not. I'm barely a fan of tag team wrestling. I'm a fan of tag team wrestling if it's story driven, a good tag team, like thrown together tag teams. I can't stand. I love FTR. FTR is my favorite tag team. I like the Bucks. I'm just talking AEW here. I like the Bucks. I like the Hurt Syndicate. I like your real tag teams. I liked Brodito, and that was one that I didn't think I was going to like. But I don't really give a shit about trios. So, like, you could do away with trios titles. I forget sometimes that the Ops even has the trios titles. That's how little I give a shit about the trios titles. Now, because of the Continental Classic, they've decided, we're going to ununify the unified title. Fucking stupid. You have too many fucking belts, Tony. So that was dumb that Okada gave up that belt for the Classic. Anyways, we're going to get back to AEW Full Gear. Like I said, Ricochet won the national title. Now, the national title is supposed to be defended internationally, which I think that's weird that the national title is not defended, that the national title is going to be defended internationally, but the international title is only going to be titled in the national. I think it's dumb that the international title exists. I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe, they should have unified some more belts in the unified title, made the unified title important, and just done away with like the Continental title. And you could still have the Continental Classic that gets you a shot at the unified title. It doesn't have to be for the Continental Crown, which is an ugly ass belt in the first place. But yeah, they did a Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal for the national championship. Like I said, it's a beautiful fucking belt. I love it. When I first saw it, I thought TV title. It's not the TV title. It's the colors of the TV title. But the TV title is based off the original national title, so it kind of makes sense that you just take the look of the national title and the colors for the TV title from NWA, put them together, and you got a beautiful AEW National Championship. The belt's beautiful. I love the belt. Classic, old school, love it. Don't love that it exists, but it does, so we're just going to look forward to having a heel championship that is willing to go on to the indies and defend it, go internationally. Tony Khan's already said that, New Japan wants it, CMLL wants it. Hopefully this thing actually does get defended in other places. Hopefully it gets defended. That's one thing. I want an active champion. Now Ricochet's already basically playing the heel and being like, "Oh, I won the championship. You got to earn your spot." Blah blah blah. It's not gonna be like the TNT title where just you call it out. You're not getting a shot. Now the match itself, I like the idea of the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal. I really do. But this card was so loaded, it should have been on Dynamite. And this belt really should have been crowned on Dynamite. Let's face it. It's not an important belt. It's not a belt anybody's going to care about. Like I said, it's beautiful. But outside of its looks, you're not going to get a lot of love for the national title from any active person. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to become important. Ricochet, if he defends this title everywhere in the world, yeah, it's going to get some love. Ricochet is amazing. He's awesome. He's an awesome heel. He talks a lot of shit, but he backs it up. He's a modern style wrestler now. If you are just an old school guy, you probably aren't going to like him. But the guy can wrestle. He can do the top rope bullshit. He can do, he can do all the flippy flops. He can do it all. He's a great wrestler. And he's a fucking amazing heel. WWE let this guy just kind of coast and didn't do anything with him. And AEW picked him up and a whole new career. I mean, now Ricochet's thing has been he wants gold, and his group, The Demand, helped him get the gold. Perfect heel move. Sounds like something MJF would do. They're kind of making him an MJF Jr., except for more annoying, especially with that fucking laugh, and it works. He's a great heel. Very predictable. Very predictable. I thought going in Ricochet was going to win because he lost to Bobby Lashley in such a annoying fashion the week before. So I was not shocked that Ricochet went on to win the title in the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal. I honestly didn't think it was going to last as long as it did. I thought, especially when Ricochet come out third, I thought you were going to get a quick, I don't know. I thought maybe especially when the Demand come and jumped Bobby and Shelton, I thought, hey, this thing's going to be over quick. We're going to get a dominant win by Ricochet. And he kind of just jumped. I think it was Orange Cassidy. I don't even remember who he pinned. But he did pin somebody and win the national championship. Great win. Now, that was for sure not my match of the night. My match of the night was Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher for the TNT championship. No holds bar. I can't remember. That wasn't no holds bar. That was no DQ. I thought it was weird they did a no DQ and a no holds bar back-to-back matches. So I think that one was definitely no DQ. But it was the match of the fucking night and the feel-good moment of the night. I mean, you had 3 heels win championships. And the ultimate babyface, Mark Briscoe, go out and win the 6th battle with Kyle Fletcher. Now, they have been having 6 fucking amazing matches. And because it's been 6, it will ultimately become best of 7. Hopefully Briscoe holds on to the title then, gives him a run, because I think Kyle Fletcher has moved on past the TNT title now. I think he should be moving for the AEW strap. I mean, there's no reason that he can't be the guy, especially since he's a part of the Continental Classic. I think it's time that Fletcher moves away from the Don Callis family and there are 100 other members, because now that he doesn't have a title and he's chasing for a title, I don't know that he's going to stand out as well because he's not Don's pick anymore. But Takeshita was Don's original pick, and now he's not kind of the guy. So, but he's becoming the guy again. So maybe, but that match, I mean, the tax to the mouth, every time I see it, I'm like, ugh, man, that was a bloody match. I mean, this whole card was like blood. Samoa Joe covered in blood. I'm going to talk about that next, but holy shit. Now, I'm a huge Mark Briscoe fan. First saw I want to say I saw the Briscoes for the first time at the NWA Crockett Cup in Nashville. I think it was 22. It's when they won the Crockett Cup. I don't remember, because I saw them. I've only seen them twice in person. I saw at the Crockett Cup and then Ric Flair's last match, and they tore it up. I loved the Briscoe brothers ever since I saw them in person. Now, I didn't know who they were. I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch a lot of Ring of Honor because I got out of wrestling for a long time. And then when I got back in, the indies were hot as fuck, and I started going to indie shows, and that's where I saw, the Briscoes for the first time, and I was like, damn, they're not just like a name like everybody's been talking about. These guys can fucking go, and I loved every second of it. I said I was there when they won the Crockett Cup, and again when they went against, they took on who did they have at Ric Flair's last match? I can't remember. I know they're in Ring of Honor. Their face is there. Their name is just not coming to me. The Von Erichs. They took on the Von Erichs. And that was kind of the Von Erichs debut to the world. That was it, but that, anyways. Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher, holy shit, that was amazing. And it was a feel-good moment. It's what we needed. You had so many heels win on this card that you needed a babyface, the babyface Mark Briscoe, to take out that title. I really didn't think he was going to win, I'm going to be honest. I thought this was going to be the return of MJF. I thought MJF was going to cost Mark Briscoe the title. Now, he still might cost Mark Briscoe the title because he might challenge Mark Briscoe for the title. He does have a title shot. And I think it's only for the world title, but if it's not, he could cash in on Mark Briscoe, and you have a Briscoe versus MJF title match, and that would be fucking fun because those two working together have been magic. It's something that was not on my bingo card for 2025. You said that one of your favorite foes of each other was going to be the Briscoe. It was going to be Mark Briscoe versus MJF. I told you, you're fucking crazy. It'll never happen. Mark Briscoe's not going to be, he's going to be a mid-carder for a long time, even though he should be a main eventer. Now he's got, the mid-card title with a chance to become a main eventer, and I hope to God that happens. Samoa Joe won the Samoa Joe won the AEW World Championship from Hangman Adam Page in a cage. And it was a match. I'll put it that way. Probably one of my least favorite matches on the show. But the outcome with Hook coming in for the save. My thing with cages in AEW is, what's the fucking point? Because they never stay closed. I had the privilege of being at the first AEW cage match, Cody versus Wardlow, in Atlanta. And guess what happened? The door stayed closed. Shocker. Oh my God. You don't... The reason for a cage is to keep fucking people out. But in AEW, when you've got every match in the world, the cage doesn't hold people in. You can you put a lid on Blood and Guts. They go on top of the cage. Like, I don't understand the point of a cage match where outside interference, where you add weapons, like you're just putting a hat on a hat. The cage is supposed to be the main event, but instead you've got people coming in. Now, I'm thankful people came in because holy shit, Hook's heel turn. I can't wait to see what that's going to look like. I'm kind of thought Joe was going to win this. I thought he was going to win it clean, but with the help of the Ops, awesome. And that set up for the moment of the night, which was the return of Swerve Strickland. When Swerve's music hit, or new music hit, the crowd lost their shit. When Prince Nana come out from the darkness and said whatever the fuck he said into the camera, he had to say it twice because the lights weren't on him the first time. Thought that was kind of funny. But he hit that music and all of a sudden they lost their shit. And Swerve come out and beat the shit out of all the Ops Dojo and defended Hangman, and now you've got Hangman and Swerve working together. I would like to see them as a tag team. Two foes make the best fucking tags. I think that would be cool. And I think they could be a tag team that could make a run when the titles stay a tag team for a while, help build that tag team division back up. So, Swerve's return was one thing that I was looking forward to. I thought he would come out. I thought he would honestly have to save Hangman somehow. But I didn't think it was going to happen the way it did. But going in, I really did think that you were going to have those two reunite. And then kind of backtracking because I forgot to talk about it. The FTR winning the titles. My two moments of the night were Briscoe winning the TNT title and FTR winning the tag titles. I'm a huge, I love FTR. It's the only wrestling shirt that I have in my collection that I wear actively. Now I have more, but I don't wear them that often. But my FTR shirt, I've wore it so much that the vinyl's coming off of it. Like, I love FTR. So when it come down to them getting the opportunity to win the championship again, I was like, man, they're not gonna break up Brodito yet. Thank God they did, but that was my second favorite moment of the night, probably my second favorite match of the night. And then it set up, tonight for who come out? I forgot who it was now. Bullet Club come out and got in their face, and that was sick. I liked it. Let's talk Continental Classic. For those of you who don't know, Continental Classic's a round robin tournament. Everybody faces everybody once, and then in AEW, the loser faces the runner-up faces the winner of the opposite league in each one. So it gives everybody gets 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and no points for losing. And currently, shocker to me, everybody's gone through and been in this already. I mean, that's what's insane is you've gone through, every person's had a match in the first two nights. That's one thing I like about the Continental Classic is you see guys more active. It's a lot of wrestling. The problem I have with the Continental Classic is you see the same guys over and over and over and over. So it's not like a quick tournament. This thing's going to take all the way up until the next pay-per-view. This is going to be all you see. It's going to be Continental Classic plus story. And I don't have a problem with that, but fuck, that's a lot of the same guys over and over and over. When you have a roster that big, round-robin tournaments, you only get two nights of television a week, which means you have to burn through a lot of matches quickly, especially because the pay-per-view is 1 month from today. So that gives you, let's see here, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7 shows So that's 14 hours of television you have to burn through the entire Continental Classic. That's a lot of matches, and it's a lot of matches with the same people. Now, don't get me wrong. It's the best fucking wrestling you're going to see on AEW. This is the time of year that's for the sickos. It's also the easiest booking for Tony Khan during the busiest time of the year. Let's face it, that's what it is. He loves the tournament. I mean, fuck. What I don't like is you have the Continental Classic going on the exact same time as the Women's Tag Team Tournament. That's weird to me, that you have two tournaments going on at the exact same time that are probably going to end on the exact same night. That's neither here nor there. But let's get into who's in the Continental Classic. So, it's very heel heavy, which is AEW right now. You got the Blue League and the Gold League. In the Blue League, you have... Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders. John Moxley of the Death Riders. Roderick Strong of the Conglomeration. Orange Cassidy of the Conglomeration. Moscato Dorada. And Takeshita of the Don Callis family. In the Gold League, you have Kyle Fletcher of the Don Callis family. Okada of the Don Callis family. Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Braley. Jet Speed. Pac of, you named it, the Death Riders, and Darby Allin. There's two people in this entire tournament that are not part of factions, and that's Pac and Moscato Dorada. I thought this was your opportunity to expand the field, put in more people, bigger names. This would have been the time to do that, but they didn't. Now, the matches so far have been great. The winners so far in the matches have been Claudio with 3 points, Moxley with 3 points, Pac with 3 points, Roderick Strong with 3 points, Kevin Knight with 3 points, and the shocker of the tournament is they opened with Kyle Fletcher defeating Okada, who was the Continental Champion and is considered the greatest tournament wrestler of all time. Now, I still think Okada is going to win the Gold League, and I think Takeshita is going to win the Blue League, because I think you're going to have Takeshita become the Continental title. My problem with this tournament, and I talked about it earlier, is this should have been for the unified title. You should have won. Okada should have never been in this fucking tournament. You should have put somebody else there so you had a chance of an opportunity at the unified championship, which combined the Continental title and the international title. But Tony Khan is like, oh, it has to be for the Continental crown. It doesn't, because 3 months ago, or not even 3 months, longer than that, at All In, you said these two belts are the same. They've been combined into the unified title. So now the unified title doesn't fucking exist unless if Okada wins again. Like, that's fucking stupid. The unified title was under Continental rules. So you didn't need to break them up again just so that Okada could keep a belt, and then when Takeshita wins, Takeshita keeps a belt. Now I get it. You want Takeshita to walk into Wrestle Kingdom, or I think that's what it's called. You want him to walk into the Tokyo Dome with an AEW belt and the IWGP. But you think that at the same time that Okada needs a belt. Okada doesn't need a belt. If anything, it should have been, if you want to make a new champion, Takeshita's the guy that you want. Why would you want that ugly ass fucking crown belt to be the one for it? They've changed the rules on the Continental Classic so much, it's not even funny. Originally, it was for the Triple Crown. It was for the Ring of Honor title, the Ring of Honor title, the New Japan Strong title, and the Continental Classic, Continental Crown. And then immediately they broke that up after that. And then the next year, it was just for the Continental Crown. And then after that, this is the third year now, it's back just for that. After becoming a unified title and breaking it up. It just doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. It's a television show. You have the right to do that. If you don't need that many belts. Sorry, I'm not going on that rant again. I've already done it. You don't need that many belts. You don't need that many belts. You don't need that many belts. This is for everybody. You don't need that many fucking belts. New Japan has like 20. There's like CMLL has that many. Fuck, how many? I don't even know how many's in AAA. Which, I mean, I just started watching AAA, and I'm loving AAA, especially, Chelsea and Ethan down there. Holy shit, that's fun. You got, I think it's crazy as fuck that you were bringing the Lucha Brothers back through AAA and not on WWE proper. I guess they're doing that as a test run, but it's weird because you were just like, Penta's going to go for the title, and then now you've got Penta and Phoenix back together in AAA without him going for the title. Whatever. Speaking WWE, but let's get into War Games. That's right. He's back over there. He can say the War Games thing. You can have old William Regal come out and be like, "It's War Games." Like he's screaming into a mic like he's going to fucking die. He did that when he announced they were doing it again this year. I'm shocked they don't have him come out for the men's and the women's. But yeah, Survivor Series is this weekend. As always, it is the main event of Thanksgiving. You have, Thanksgiving, your nice dinner, and then you rest on Black Friday, and then Survivor Series is on Saturday, and now Survivor Series because Triple H doesn't like Survivor Series matches. It's all War Games every year, even if there's not a reason for fucking War Games like this year. That's right. This is the most thrown together War Games since the start of War Games in WWE because War Games was not a WWE idea. It is a Dusty Rhodes idea for NWA, and when Hunter was in charge of NXT, he brought it into NXT. Now that he's in charge of WWE, guess what? It's back. So we don't have the traditional, I think it used to be 7-on-7, 2 teams for Survivor Series. That was fun. And honestly, it's been gone long enough that it would be cool to have it back for a year. Like, you don't have to do War Games every year, and you don't have to do the traditional Survivor Series match every year. Now, their way of doing the Survivor Series match was throwing it on the pre-tape for, I think it was the pre-tape for SmackDown tomorrow. It's weird because, like, it's knowing what happens on SmackDown, knowing what happens not, it makes not watching it okay because you already know what's going to happen. Like, those results are already out there. But, like I said, you've got War Games, men's and women's, Dom versus Cena, and Stephanie Valkyrie versus Nikki Bella. Let's start with Stephanie Valkyrie and Nikki Bella. Now, Nikki and Valkyrie had become friends on television. And then all of a sudden, Nikki wanted to have a title shot, so she attacks her. And in WWE, that's all it takes to get a title shot, especially in the women's division. I wonder what kind of match we're going to get. Can Stephanie Valkyrie bring out and Nikki Bella and make her look good? Or is it going to be a shitty Nikki Bella match? I mean, I hate to say that, but Nikki's not looked good since coming back. She didn't look great before she retired. I wonder what you're going to get. Stephanie Valkyrie is definitely going to keep the title. She's going to retain, but I don't know. I don't know what you're going to get out of that one. I'm picking Stephanie Valkyrie because Nikki Bella has not looked great since coming back. That being said, they want to surprise people and put the title on her. I don't see a reason for that. Realistically, the less you see of Nikki Bella wrestling, the better. She needs to be in tag matches. She needs to become They need to do the Trish Stratus with her where she shows up every now and then, but I get it. Nikki Bella needs money after the divorce. She's going to be on television every week. That's their way of doing it. It is what it is. Up next, I'm going to talk about the women's War Game match. And if there's any match that kind of makes sense on this card, War Games wise, it's the women. You have two teams that don't like each other. It's more a bunch of, like, the tag teams that are in it don't like each other. And then AJ and Becky don't like each other. So that kind of makes sense. The only one that really don't make a ton of sense is Charlotte and Alexa and Lash Legend and Nia Jax. I think that doesn't make sense, but I honestly don't know because I haven't watched. I'm not going to lie. I don't watch a lot of SmackDown. But I'm going to break down the match. The babyface side is Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and AJ Lee. This will be AJ Lee's first War Games. I also think might be Alexa's first War Games, but I know Charlotte's been in there, Rhea's been in there, Io Sky's been in there. On the heel side, it's being led by Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane has been in a ton of War Games matches. I think they said this was Io Sky's 7th War Game match. I think she's definitely been in every one on the main roster, and I think she's been in almost every one on the NXT. So, holy shit, that's cool. I definitely think it's interesting the way they've built up to this with the Rhea and Charlotte aspect. Where they're like, we're not friends, but tonight, for one night only, we'll be frenemies. And it's like, we really could have just told the story of the friend of my enemy, or friend of my enemy is a friend kind of thing. Where it's like, I don't like them, so I'm going to work with you. Like, we don't have to be friends. I love that they're doing Becky and AJ here. I really thought Becky was going to hold on to the title long enough for you to get AJ versus Becky. I mean, if you remember a few weeks ago, I predicted it to be AJ versus Becky for the Intercontinental title. Instead, Becky's lost the Intercontinental title thanks to help from AJ Lee. It's for, God, what is her fucking name? Maxine Dupree. For Maxine Dupree to win the title. Now, I don't know that was the move that was the call I would have made, was making Maxine the title, the champion. But it doesn't matter because they don't care about that belt. They also don't care about the United States Women's Championship belt that Chelsea has. So it's tough to give a shit when they don't give a shit. But I don't know who's going to win this one. I'm assuming AJ Lee because I can't imagine they're going to, I mean, the babyface, because I can't imagine they're going to let AJ Lee lose. But it'd be really cool if they let Becky pin AJ and then set up for a one-on-one match between them because AJ pinned Becky last time. Up next, we got John Cena, the Intercontinental Champion. The Grand Slam John Cena. The greatest of all time, never seen 17 against Dirty Dom. I thought what they did this week to set up this match without John Cena on TV was hilarious. And a lot of people was like, oh no, it's very Attitude Era. It's very outdated. It's Vince McMahon. It got Psycho. It got the micro Psycho on television. That's what it did. And I thought that was cool because I like micro wrestling. I thought that show was really fun. And it got Psycho on television. And then I thought it was cool they had Micro Stu too. They've done minis on WWE for a long time. It kind of reminded me of WLC. And I thought that was fun. I don't like the fact that Cena's had such little dates leading up to his last match. Like the fact that he's not going to be on television again after War Games for, I guess it's only 2 weeks, but still. Cena's last Raw was on the 17th, I believe, in Madison Square Garden. And he was on, his last Raw was a month before his last match. He should be doing pre-tapes. He should be doing backstages that he doesn't have to be out there talking to people. But I get it. You want to advertise. This is his last Raw. This is his last SmackDown. This is his last time here, last time there. And you can't advertise that if he's not actually physically in the building. So then they can't sell the t-shirt, and John's not going to make extra money. So they're not going to bring John in just to record a bunch of shit. That being said, I think Dominic Mysterio is going to win back his Intercontinental title in his hometown of San Diego. I think John Cena's getting the pin to set up for John Cena to get the win in his last match in Washington, D.C. with Donald Trump in the fucking audience and Vince McMahon in the audience. And we love America bullshit. I mean, that just seems like such a TKO thing to do. I think that's the best way to go, and then have him attacked afterwards and written off for good that way. But at the same time, I'm not against him going out looking at the lots. I mean, it's going to be Gunther. It's not been announced that it's going to be Gunther, but it's going to be Gunther. That's a big moment for Gunther to take out. If he takes out John Cena, Goldberg, and then gets a chance to take out AJ Styles next in a couple months, I mean, that's a bam, bam, bam legend killer. And that can become he can become the new legend killer. And then if he could find a way to beat Randy Orton, he would be the legend killer. I think that's what you set up. I think that's how you move on past this John Cena story. But I also wouldn't be against him getting beat. And then because he got beat, fucking destroy John Cena. That would be fun too. Either way, it's going to be seen as not. That's why there's not real matches on that card. It's all NXT, WWE. It's to build, if you, air quotes, build the future. No, it's about celebrating John Cena with Matt and then putting on other matches nobody gives a shit about. Last up, we got Men's War Games. And this is the Avengers versus this is Avengers versus Shield. Or not Shield. Avengers versus Hydra. The Avengers being CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns. Jimmy and Jay and Roman have been in every War Games, I believe, since it come back. Punk and Cody, this is their second. They were on opposite sides last time. They're going up against Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock has never been in a War Games match. Cool. I was over the Brock Lesnar thing before the allegations. Now I don't really care. But especially after the way they did John Cena with Brock Lesnar, I really don't give a shit. The way I look at it is I don't understand why Brock's in this match, but they needed a fifth heel. Gives them a reason to have Paul Heyman out there. It kind of sets up, and what I think I think this match is going to set up stories moving forward all the way to WrestleMania. I think this is whoever comes out victorious. I think you're going to have Punk and Cody, who, if they hold the titles, is going to go up against. I think you're going to have Punk go up against Braun Breaker for the title at WrestleMania. You might set up Roman and Brock. You've got a current thing going on with Cody and Drew. You could also do Braun and Bronson against Usos, but I don't think you would go that route. You got people like SRS who's calling for Obafemi. I don't think they would do that. I think it would be cool, especially bring him up, make him dominant. But I don't see Triple H doing that for several reasons. One being, I'm not even going there. If you know, you know. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't mind seeing Braun versus Brock, Gunther versus Brock, Braun versus. What I would love to see, and we're just not going to get it yet, is I would love to see Cody versus Punk and Braun go in as the champion and go up against Brock. And then Braun beat Brock. I don't give a shit who beats Cody or Punk, either one. I think that would be a cool way to set that up, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I honestly have no clue who's going to win the Royal Rumble after last year, where, you know, Jay went in and won it. I don't think it's going to. I don't see them having Brock run the field. I think that would be cool if they were going to do that. Again, I don't really give a shit what they do with Brock Lesnar anymore. Drew McIntyre, they've had him beat so many times that he just looks like a loser now. Logan Paul, he's not ready for a national championship. He just runs his fucking mouth. That's why he's on the heel team. I think your standout of the heel team is Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker should have already been the national. I mean, he should have already been the heavyweight champion. It shouldn't have been Punk. It should have been Braun versus Punk instead of Punk versus Jay at Saturday Night's Main Event. There's still a chance. There is a Saturday Night's Main Event before Royal Rumble that if you wanted to be ballsy and treat it like a real PLE, you could move the title there. And that would be a good chance for Braun to become champion. Gives him a reason not to be in the Royal Rumble. If you want Punk to win the Royal Rumble, he could call out Cody. Or you could just set up him and Cody. Or you could do Punk and Roman. I don't think Seth's going to be back in time to be in that picture. I think in the women's side for Royal Rumble, you're going to have, if she's ready, I think Liv Morgan's going to win that and set up to go up against whoever. Probably that would be good to have her go up against, because of the storyline that was already there, her and Jade. That could be good. And then I don't know who the hell would go up against Stephanie Vaquer, because she's so dominant that it doesn't matter who she's going to go up against. It's going to be a good match. But that is all I got for you guys. I went over the normal 45. Just want to thank everybody who watched the video. If you made it this far, please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when I'm live, so that you can join the chat. I went later than normal, so I didn't have is what it is. Hopefully next week I will be back on Thursday at 8 o'clock, my normal time. That is my plan, is return next week. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, and let me know down in the comments, who do you think is going to win the men's Survivor Series, the women's Survivor Series, and Cody and Dom? And if you want to throw in Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella, go for it. Anyways, hit that bell, subscribe, like, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell an enemy, tell whoever the fuck you want. Let's help grow this channel. If you haven't, go check out my shorts. Got a ton of shorts. Got one with Jeff Jarrett. I've got Rhino. I've got all kinds of stuff from AMW. Hopefully I can hit another show up in January, because I don't think I might hit. There's a local show that is really small that's running a show in December around here. I may hit that up. May try and drive to a show. I want to get some different content for you. I want to try and figure out some new reels, but that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys like the show. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you very much, and I'll see you hopefully next week.